Alright, hey guys, tried doing this video before, phone decided to overheat, so giving it another shot, now that it's cooled off. This video is something that was put on my mind because I saw somebody else's video called where they're discussing when is good enough, right? And it really drove home the point to me of like, understand the use case for your gear and what you need it to actually accomplish. You can see we have a couple different setups on the table, holsters and stuff, and very different price points for everything, even from the optics. Like this is a $50 or $60-$70 optic. That's a $200 optic. $60 light, $175 light. Put this pistol together for like $350. This pistol is $600. This pistol is $400. Like, different price points for everything, and just understanding like, what do you actually need it to do? How much do you need it to be able to take, right? And once you have that value proposition figured out, like staying within it, like just because other people need something different or want something different doesn't mean that's what you need or want, right? Don't go into debt. Even with this kind of stuff, yes, defending yourself is important. Having the best tool you can afford is extremely important. Making sure that that tool is reliable and that you know how to use it is extremely important. But again, just because somebody else has something or somebody else says this is what you need, that doesn't mean that's what you actually need. To that point as well, is like, what is the bare minimum? Like, is there a bare minimum that we can agree on as a community to what is a bet your life to a pistol? For me, honestly, at this point, I basically consider the MP series and like the Glocks and the CZ P10 series kind of the bare minimum. And the reason that I consider those three is because like police trade-in MPs you can get for $299. Same thing with like the CZs. You can find them on sale for $299 or right around there. If you dig, you can find Glocks at the same price point. So you can get into them for a really good cost to performance ratio, and they're still extremely reliable, well made, good quality control, all that kind of stuff. Guns like the Dagger, I do enjoy it. I actually have it because it takes Glock mags, and I want something that takes Glock mags, but I didn't want to buy a Glock. And it's a good gun, but something like this, you got to put rounds through it. You got to make sure that it works. And it's just kind of the nature of budget guns, to be honest. And it's kind of a sad truth, but if you're going to go at a certain price point, it's different for, all the different categories, shotgun, rifle, pistol, all that kind of stuff, and what the use case is, but you got to make sure that they're going to work. And so what I always tell people, when you buy a budget gun, budget at least enough money to buy 200 to 300 rounds of ammo and just burn it down and make sure it'll survive at least that, right? And then from there, you might need to do some more testing or whatever, but you really got to make sure that the gun will function at the budget price points. And so you have to understand what you're putting your money towards, and when and why. So I spent a little bit more on the gun, bought a little bit of cheaper optic, a little bit of a cheaper light, and like this has worked just fine for me. I do want to go to a closed emitter at some point, just because environmental issues that open emitters have, not just this specific one, but even like the RMRs, all susceptible to the same kind of issues and all that. And honestly, this, I don't see a point in upgrading, comparing it to X300s and stuff like that. I've had really good success. Every M&P that I've got, and I've even had it on a couple rifles, have TLR 1s on them, and they have held up great. Thousands of rounds at this point, and hundreds of hours of just carry and abuse that this light has seen, and they just keep going, right? Now that may not be everybody's experience, and you might want to go to a more expensive light because it makes you feel better and feels like it can be trusted more. And if that's the case, more power to you. Do what you got to do, but also understand, like, just because you spend more doesn't mean you're getting more, right? So make sure that you do your research into the actual products that you're buying, and making sure that when you are spending that extra money, that you are actually getting a better optic, like a better product. A good example is, I want to upgrade my optic when I get a new MP, and I want to get like a Trijicon, not Trijicon, an Aimpoint Acro, or the Trijicon, what is it, the RCR, whatever their closed emitter RMR, big RMR thing is. I want to get one of those because one, I want an enclosed emitter optic, like I mentioned, and two, from everything that I've seen and the testing and stuff like that, they actually look like you're getting your money's worth out of them, right? It's not just that it's expensive, it's that it works, and that's what matters the most. Not how much did you pay for it, but does it do the job consistently all the time, right? Or at least as much of the time as you're going to need it to. And again, like this setup here is extremely budget oriented, and this was set up just as a fun gun, right? This is the dry fire gun. This is the range toy out of my 9mm and stuff like that. So it doesn't get the same mags, doesn't get the same optics, doesn't get all the other stuff because it doesn't need it. It doesn't need that expensive stuff, but I want it to have some facsimiles so that the manual of arms is still fairly similar to what I'm actually carrying and using, even though it's a budget gun, right? So it's just something I kind of wanted to put out there, see if we can get some conversation going, get some people thinking. I know I saw this video, a bunch of other people saw the video talking about when is good enough, and I kind of wanted to help push the conversation on and get people talking and thinking through their purchases and what they're looking to do. So I appreciate y'all's time. Keep tuning in. I got more videos coming out. All right, peace.